All right, so today we're going deep on something really interesting, how Black marriages are portrayed in media and pop culture,
Okay.
and how those portrayals you really shape how society sees these relationships.
Right.
We're looking at episode 6 from our source material today,
Okay.
and it covers like everything from how representations have changed over time,
Yeah.
from like really classic works to modern day examples. And you know what's wild is how these representations really influence our cultural norms.
They really do. It's fascinating to think about
Totally.
how intertwined storytelling and societal views are. Like, for example, early sitcoms often show Black husbands as, like, incompetent, which sadly reinforce those negative stereotypes about Black men and their roles in families.
Right.
And, you know, that legacy, unfortunately, still impacts how Black fathers are seen today.
That's such a good point. It's like even portrayals from decades ago have this ripple effect, you know?
Totally. We still feel it today.
Yeah.
So when we talk about this historical baggage, what from the source material really jumps out at you?
Well,
Like, how do those past portrayals still affect things?
well, the source highlights a couple of key things.
Okay.
First, it points to the mammy archetype
Oh, yeah.
from the antebellum South, you know?
Right.
This figure often depicted as overweight, asexual,
Yeah.
and subservient.
Right.
This image was sadly used to justify the exploitation of Black women during slavery.
Yeah.
And while we've come a long way,
Yeah.
the echoes of that stereotype
Uh-huh.
can still be seen in contemporary media,
Oh, for sure.
sometimes subtly,
Right.
sometimes not.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It is.
How that historical context really matters.
Mm.
But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Our source also talks about positive representations, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm thinking of Love Jones,
Yes.
which the source points out as a real game changer in the 90s. Love Jones was really significant for its time.
Absolutely.
It showed Black love as complex, passionate, and intellectual,
Right.
like a far cry from those stereotypical portrayals.
Totally.
But what's interesting is even Love Jones, while groundbreaking, might have unintentionally reinforced that trope of the strong Black woman
Okay.
who often shoulders those emotional burdens alone.
That is such an insightful observation. It makes you realize how complex representation can be.
It really is.
Even when we're aiming for something positive, there can be nuances we miss or unintended messages we send.
Right.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
So the source also mentions another harmful stereotype,
Yes.
the angry Black woman trope.
Right.
And this one really demonizes Black women's emotions,
It does.
paints them as aggressive or threatening, often for just expressing themselves.
For just being themselves.
Exactly. And this has real-world consequences.
Huge consequences.
It can affect how people see Black women
Yeah.
in work settings, in social situations, and even in the justice system.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really scary.
It creates this distorted and harmful perception.
It does.
And speaking of changing landscapes,
Yes.
our source also digs into social media's influence,
Oh, yeah. Social media.
which adds a whole other layer to all of this.
It really does.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is.
On one hand, it offers chances for more diverse and authentic portrayals of Black marriage.
For sure.
Think of the rise of Black love influencers.
Oh, yeah?
And celebrating those everyday moments.
Exactly.
But then on the other hand, it's also a breeding ground
Oh,
for those same harmful stereotypes to come back and spread like wildfire.
Oh, it's true.
Those algorithms often prioritize content that reinforces existing biases, leading to echo chambers where those negative portrayals go unchecked.
It's a lot to unpack.
It really is.
So with all this knowledge from these studies, how can we be more critical media consumers?
I think the biggest takeaway is awareness.
Okay.
Recognizing that media isn't just entertainment.
Right.
It's a powerful tool that shapes our understanding of the world, including our views on relationships,
For sure.
by being aware of the historical context.
Okay.
The nuances of positive and negative portrayals and the complexities of social media, we can start to challenge problematic representations and demand more authentic and nuanced stories.
I love the call to action for all of us.
It is.
To be more conscious and support content
Yes.
that reflects the true beauty and diversity
Absolutely.
of Black love.
It's so important.
Thank you so much for taking this deep dive with us.
Of course, it's been a pleasure.
It's given us all a lot to think about.
A lot to think about, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, we'll catch you next time.
See you then.
For another deep dive.
Bye.